Curriculum enrichment is an approach which is embedded in the mainstream curriculum, and the purpose is to address two key elements. One, pertinent and contemporary issues, and two, values. And these are addressed by embedding. For example, pertinent and contemporary issues. They range from different aspects because children, like adults, are faced with a myriad of challenges and issues owing to the legal, technological, social, cultural, and economic dynamics in the society. It is important that the challenges are addressed, as the overall well-being of the child is critical to the survival of any society. These issues in competence-based curriculum are referred to as pertinent contemporary issue, formerly known as emerging issues or cross-cutting issues. Think for a moment. Why are these important to learners? Why is it important to embed them in the teaching and learning experiences? For a minute, give a power talk. Great. Thank you for your perspective on pertinent and contemporary issue. You can see they're actually very important in teaching and learning. So what are these pertinent and contemporary issues? Because children are individuals or as part of the community. They face different challenges, and these challenges are not static, but they seem to change over time. So the issues of pertinent and contemporary issue has been categorized in 6 broad areas. That is citizenship, where we are talking about peace education, integrity, racial cohesion, working together and knowing your rights and protection. Health education, where we're talking about HIV and AIDS, alcohol and drug abuse prevention, lifestyle diseases, personal hygiene, common communication and chronic diseases. We're also talking about life skills and values in education. We're talking about education for sustainable development, which has different aspects. And we're also talking about the support programs, which range from guidance and counseling all the way up to sports and games. And finally, we're talking about past service learning, which has an element of parental empowerment and engagement, because the learning extends beyond the classroom to the community. They serve as they learn. So these are the categories of pertinent and contemporary issues. Take a pause and reflect. How does inculcating PCI enrich the learning experience of learners. Take a minute. Thank you. So you can see that to enrich the curriculum, one element is pertinent and contemporary issue. I'd like us to watch this video and figure out.
Hebu lesson yako?
Ofisa habari. Situongee tu hata kijana wangu ni mgonjwa anamkimbiza hospitali.
Niulize aje. Hii gari yako first of all ile makosa iko nani mingi sana. Alright? Taya zako zote 3 zimekwisha. Alright? Na vile naangalia hata license yako it's not even valid anymore.
Hiyo actually naenda kurenew.
Indicator zako za nyuma zote hazifanyi kazi. Pamba ni chafu.
Ofisa.
Hiyo yako inakaa ni kama inapitianga kwani hii gari yako unaitumia kufanya kazi.
Ofisa tungesaidiana tu unajua. Acha mimi nikimbize mtoto birthday, hospitali. Na wewe upate kasoda. Ofisa jua ni kali. Kunywa soda.
Fanya hivi my friend. Wewe enda tu lakini hiyo gari yako ni very dangerous hata naona mishipi ya siku. Make sure umerekebisha.
Tarekebisha hii. Wewe ni jamaa wangu nitarekebisha hii.
Don't make me regret ni watch.
No.
Alafu ikwe ni shida huko mbele.
Asante ofisa.
Sawa. Drive safely.
Siku njema.
Haya.
Daddy.
Yes.
Daddy. Kwa nini umempatia pesa?
Unajua? Kama unataka kusumbuliwa na polisi unawapata kitu kidogo unaenda zako.
Hata kama uko na makosa?
In fact makosa hapa Kenya ni wewe kukosa pesa. Hiyo ndio makosa.
Okay.
Mom, this year, we are completely overwhelmed by applications at class 4. Mom, hata wewe unajua kila mtu anataka city council school.
Mwalimu, lakini si unajua it becomes easier to place in form 1.
Sasa you see, hata wewe unajua, why are you making my work very difficult? I am already, the school is full,
No,
Mama.
madam, you cannot be full. You see, I live nearby and my son has to come to this school, Sasa, mwalimu, shika hii. Isi school fees, Hii ni kuongea tu.
No, madam, hapana. No, this is not necessary.
I'm a parent. I will do anything for my son's future.
This is completely uncalled for. Hapana. I can't accept this. It's really too much.
Mwalimu, nothing is too much for my son's future. Okay. Unajua nataka ende national school.
Okay, Mama, you just do this. Leave those applications with me, You see, I will give it my personal attention. Don't worry.
Mwalimu, nashukuru. Mungu akubariki. Nashukuru sana. Twende Junior. Junior? What's happening? Kwani nduko yuko busy?
Hapana ma'am, nimeona tu niwapikie chai mimi mwenyewe.
Okay. Asanti.
Must be something he wants. What do you want, Junior? You know there's no money for these things you run around trying to.
Unajua, shule tuliambiwa a hungry man is an angry man.
That's
so?
Nilitaka mshibe kabla niwapatie hii.
Hii ni nini hata hiyo tu.
Baba Junior?
What? Ini max gani hii Junior? What is this?
Kwani umepata max ngapi?
Dad. Hii ni kitu kidogo. Sichukua tulenge hii story kabisa.
What?
Junior, ati nini?
Junior, did you just try to bribe me in my house? Junior!
Unadai babako. Na amekufunza hiyo tabia?
Dad alisema makosa ni kukosa pesa.
Kuja.
Kuja.
Unadai babako kwa nini?
You're trying to bribe me?
Junior,
You're trying to bribe me?
We are trying to punish, not kill.
50 bob.
Kwanza
You fail and you try such nonsense?
Kuja hapa, hata nisimalizia.
Mama Junior, not in my house.
You've made meaning of what was happening. In Kenya today, there is a noticeable values and behavioral crisis among the general population and the young people. Many youngsters are growing up without desired values and competence to function as responsible citizens. In sub-Saharan Africa, scholars have argued that the way the ethnic groups interact is partly responsible for the low provision of public goods, and the primary responsibility for nurturing values rests to the parents, the community. But education too has a key role to play in this regard. The teaching of values will facilitate the achievement of the curriculum reforms, particularly with respect to modeling ethical citizen. Values are defined as standards that guide on how we behave in each circumstances. That's value influence how we feel, act, and make choices. And the value system is made up of different aspects. It begins with a belief. A belief is an idea that a person holds being true. A person can base a belief upon certainties, probabilities, matters of faith. A belief can come from various sources, including a person's own experience, acceptance of cultural norms, and what other people say. A potential belief sits with the person until they accept it as a truth and adapt it as their own belief system. Each person evaluates and seeks sound reason or evidence for the potential belief in their own way. One person accepts a belief as a truth they are willing to defend. It can be said to form part of the belief system. And this influences values, and values are stable, long-lasting belief about what is important to a person. They are abstract, hierarchical, and dynamic. They become standard by which people order their lives and make their choices. A belief will develop into a value, and the person's commitment to it grows, and they see it as being important. It is possible to categorize beliefs into diverse types of values. Examples include values that relate to happiness, wealth, career success, or family. A person must be able to articulate their values to make clear, rational, and consistent decisions. But these are influenced by other factors like attitude, where an attitude are mental dispositions people have towards others and the current circumstances before making decisions that result in behavior. People primarily form their attitude from underlying values and beliefs. However, factors may not have been internalized as beliefs, and values can still influence a person's expression of their character traits and a point of decision. Typical influences include the desire to please, political correctness, convenience, peer pressure, psychological stress. The potential of these influences on sway attitudes will be greater if the person not clearly thought through their beliefs and system beliefs. This process includes considering the principles by which they might reconcile or prioritize competing values. A lack of self-awareness or critical insight, or the presence of ambivalence or uncertainty about values can lead to a less rational attitude to choices and ultimately to undesirable behavior. And this is seen in the character trait, where a character trait is used to describe how both individuals act during certain situations and what kind of people they are. It is a disposition to behave and is expressed by a consistent pattern of functioning through a range of circumstances. And this can either be positive or negative. So we can see the impact of values and how they are interrelated with beliefs, attitudes, and character. And these are very, very important when they are integrated in the mainstream teaching and learning, so that you don't have a separate session to teach values, but you embed values based with the content which you are focusing on. And therefore, values could also be assessed. A rubric can be developed. For example, in this you can see that values, for example, love, there is exceeding, there is meeting expectation, there is approaching, and there is below expectation. Therefore, they can also be accessed during a lesson and to find out to what extent they have realized. So PCIs and values can be embedded in teaching and learning so as to enrich the learning experience.